Hi everyone, and welcome back to the second part of Lesson 7.1, Ratios and Proportions. So we're taking a look at example 4, and what they've done is they've given us that 4x equals 10y, and they want us to find the ratio of x to y in simplest form. So what they want us to do is they want us to take this cross product and go backwards and figure out what the original question was. So what I'm going to do is undo the cross product. Now, when I do that, I have to be very careful because they want x to y. That means when I create my fractions, I have to have x on top of y. And then I have to figure out whether the 4 or the 10 would be on top in the other fraction. Okay, so let's take a look at that work. Okay, so I'm going to undo that cross product. And I'm going to make sure x is on top of y. So what I do first is I write x over y, and I start by writing that. And I know x is on top because here it says x to y. The x comes first. So x is on top. Then what I do is I say, okay, over here it said 4x. So the 4 has to be across from x for me to get this cross product. So I go across from x and I write a 4. Then I look back at the given information. It says 10y. So I know the 10 is across from the y. So I find the y, I go across from it, and I write a 10. So I have 10 over 4. Now, they did say simplest form, so I have to reduce that fraction. 10 over 4 is 5 over 2. And 5 over 2 is my answer. Okay, so you get to try it next in a check it out question. Check it out, question number 4 goes on your Google Doc. It says, given that 16s equals 20t, find the ratio of t to s in simplest form. Okay, so this is going to work the same exact way as example 4. So try it out and pause this video and then come back for example 5. So example 5 is everyone's favorite type of question, a word problem. Okay, it says, during the filming of The Lord of the Rings, the special effects team built a model of Sauron's tower with a height of 8 meters and a width of 6 meters. If the width of the full-size tower is 996 meters, what is its height? Now, I always recommend drawing a diagram. So pause this video and see if you can draw a diagram, one of the model and one of the full-size tower. And try and put those measurements on there, and then come back here to see if you're right. Okay, so in my diagram, I made the model with a base of 6 meters and a height of 8. Then I drew an actual tower representation with a base of 996 meters and a height of X meters. Now what you're going to do is you're going to create a proportion. And remember, when you're creating the proportion, you just have to be consistent. You can do height over base equals height over base. You can do base over base equals the height of the model over the height of the actual. You just have to be consistent, okay? So try and make a proportion and solve it and see if you're right on this video. Okay, so I made a proportion that was height over base equals height over base. And I always do it that way because I want to be consistent and I don't want to confuse myself by changing it up in different questions. So I always do height over base equals height over base. I always do that. Now I just solve it using a cross product. So I did 8 times 996 equals 6 times x. Now, if you wrote a different proportion, you would still get the same cross product. And that's how you know if your proportion is correct, even though mine was different. Okay, so you would still get the same cross product. You get 7,968 for 8 times 996. And then you divide by 6 to get 1,328. Okay, so your last check it out question is coming up next. Okay, so this is the last question for your Google Doc. It says, suppose the special effects team from example 5 made a different model with a height of 9.2 meters and a width of 6 meters. What is the height of the actual tower? And remember, the width of the full-size tower was 996. So finish this on your Google Doc, Make sure all 5 of the Check It Out questions are on there and submit those when you're done. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye.